Oh, you say, but it's a story, Marshall. You're in fairyland. I mean, no, I'm not. I was privileged, yes. I mean, as an individual in what we think of as the modern world. Because that's where we are at present, moving through time. We always think that the now is the modern and the greatest thing that's ever been, sort of thing. In a secular way, you understand. So where was I? Oh. Your pappy's rich and your mama's good looking. So smile, pretty baby. Don't you cry. You know that song, Summertime? And the living is easy. You can imagine it on a southern states plantation. Your papa's rich and your mama's good looking. So his nanny, probably a black lady, saying to Bubby, smile, pretty baby. Don't you cry, you've got it made. In Marshall's case, mum that loves him to bits. Dad that can provide more than the necessities of life. Staggering comfort and assurance of wealth that the poor don't have. And I purpose in my heart to be wise and a great academic as a secular person, but with a kindness from his mum endowed with. And despite my lack of intellectual position in a below average school and below average in it, I achieved what is miraculous in the material world sense of go to university and become the academic of academics on the boundary of science, the social sciences, the frontier of science, is trying to understand the very realities in which we seem to live in. It's what science is about, isn't it? And even as a youth, having achieved this, I say youth, I mean 24, I find my soul longs for you. I come to long for God, to want God with all my being. I see a trace, a hint of the suffering in this world and my own dilemma. He's got it all. How do you mean, your own dilemma? That there's no permanence here. It's not the eternal goodness that I would seek for all creatures, not just man in a humanist way. I read a book, Paramhansa's Autobiography of a Yogi, by Paramhansa Yogananda. And the wonderful saintly persons that he has deliberately met in his life, spent a life doing it. and the great blessing of purpose that it's given him. Such that, his followers think he's an avatar. Well, good on them. Do I think he's an avatar? No, I think he's a man like you and I. Very good friend to have. When we're purposed aright, to bless all life, if it were possible. So I found I wanted God to exist with my whole being, and the realization that I had attained such a state of mind caused me to be, to transcend into that state you experience briefly when you fall in love for real. And the whole world sings to you. All the universe rejoices around you. And thank God, even the most secular can experience this loveliness, this divine state of transcendence. And I didn't come down for about 10 days, as I say. And I've said this in visual, materialistic terms, but I think you spiritually understand what I mean. I don't care what the story is, in a sense, whether it's Arjuna and the battle, spiritual battle, in the Hindu faith, or whether it's Jesus and the spiritual battle in the Judaic faith, or against the Judaic background in the Christian faith. And all these constructs have got it wrong, of course. Everything is laced with good and bad, ignorance and insight, understanding and lack of understanding in this universe that we're experiencing. But each of these ways, including the way of science, has much to offer us of such incredible blessing. And don't we know it? But I don't scoff at any of it, not really. I'm critical in that I don't wish to worship any of it. I'm here to worship God with all my heart, soul, mind and strength. But that doesn't mean I hold in contempt that which is less than doing so. On the contrary, it's our childish state that by the grace and goodness of God, right down to our loving parents that provide, are purposed on rescuing us. Wow. How wonderful that such noble purpose can be present in such puzzling environment as we have here in this universe. We are indeed as children growing up, and our ignorance gives us a very happy blindness to just how harmful evil is, badness is, and can be, until we contrast such with that which we hope for. My surname, as you know, is now Hope. I have chosen it virtually unwittingly by the grace of God. And it's come to mean far more to me than I first glimpsed. For without hope, you wouldn't so much as lift your arm or your fingers, for you would have no expectation of achieving anything by doing such. It is the expectation, the hope, the desire that brings you to spiritual transcendence, enlightenment, life eternal, whatever you like to call it, but a perfect blessedness. That is our eternal goal to which we are now wed, eternally. In Christian terms, in the Jesus story terms anyway, by the grace of God, the goodness of our Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.